This is a look at the Stanton RM-50 DJ mixer from the year 2001. It's a 4-channel mixer. You get a phono on each channel, 3 mic inputs, one's in the back, EQ overall, as well as options for stereo or mono. There's balance control, master control, monitor out or booth out, of course headphones. In the back there's actually a gain, so if you turn it on and you don't have any sound, which is what happened to me, it's possible that the gain is turned all the way down. I'm just fooling with the gain. And you can kind of decide where you want that, but the gain is right in the back. Again, we have 4 channels, phono on channel 1, phono on channel 1, phono on channel 2, phono on channel 3, phono on channel 4, line 1, and you also have an option for line 2 selectable. On channel 2, you also have an option for CD2, they call it. It's going to share it with phono. So in the back, you hit a little button and it'll toggle you over. You press it in, and now you're going to be using CD2 as we've done. And now we can toggle it also over to line 3 on channel 2. On channel 3, we also have an option again for CD3, another line essentially. And we have to again press it in the back to go from phono to CD. So program 2 and program 3, or channel 2 and channel 3, do have phonos that you can also share with additional lines. And we also have on that same channel 3 or program 3 the option to click it over into line 4. And then on channel 4, you do have a line 5 and another line 6, and you don't have to toggle anything in the back. You'll just switch this right here. So you'll go to line 5. And then you can just toggle to line 6. As an overview, each channel has a phono input and then selectable line level inputs. Channel 1 has phono, line 1, line 2 that you can select in the front here. Channel 2 or program 2 has phono and CD that are shared, so in the back you'd have to toggle back and forth. But you can also toggle to another line in the front, a distinct line. Program 3 also has phono and CD shared. Again, you'll toggle, but you can also move it over to line 4. And then on program 4, you can have another turntable, as mentioned, and you can click over to line 5, line level like a CD player, and then line 6. You've got actually a total of 4 turntable inputs and 8 line level inputs, all selectable on the front. So right now, with the way it's set up, I've got 1 turntable and 1 CD player. I've got the turntable plugged into channel 2. We've got it selected in the back for phono, and I've got this toggled all the way over. So on channel 2, we've got the turntable selected, and on channel 3, we're going to go ahead and select line 4 for the CD player. Right now, you'll see that I've got everything on bypass. Everything on bypass, there's a little toggles on each channel. You can have it on bypass, which means to mix, you're going to go up and down. You're not going to use the crossfader. But you can also select the crossfader. So we'll go ahead, and as you see, you can select any channel to be side A or side B on each of these toggles right here. So we'll go ahead with phono. We'll put that on A over here. So we'll go ahead and put that on side A. With channel 3, we'll go ahead and put that on side B. So here we go. Got a side A slid all the way over. I'll bring the volume up if I want to do the crossfade. Again, you can do that with any of these channels. You can select them any way you want. They call it kind of like a matrix system. Some people do like to use fader starts. Kind of useful for, say, making an announcement between two songs you're not probably going to beat mix. You're just going to kind of slide over. And if so, you want to do that. The only options you have for fader start are going to be these two in the middle. And you're going to engage those with these two buttons. So if you want fader start, if you want side B to be selected with fader start, you'll make sure that's on. If you want side A to come on with fader start, you'll make sure that's on. And there's a little mini cable that connects that in the back from your control input of your player, your CD player. And so I've got the cable hooked up right now. Again, there's two fader start controls in there, the little tiny mini stereo jack, and that goes to the player. And as you see, we've got this selected on, so it'll just start like that. And that could happen on the other side as well. As you see, if I turn it off, that will not happen. And we'll have to start the player. Just to the right of all of the channels, there's an option for EQing the music or everything that's going into these channels. Not the mics, just everything that would be going into these channels, turntables or otherwise. And you just turn that on. Select that on if you want to have that, and as you'll see, there we are. There's with more highs, more bass, no bass, more mid, less mid, no high, and so on. And that'll, as you see, cover everything on these lines. And if you don't want it, you turn it off. On the master volume, you can go to stereo or mono. Sometimes people have reasons for doing that. Maybe you're just using one channel. Here's your balance. And here's the master volume. We do have that in the back, the gain. I've got it up pretty far, but you can also change things a little bit overall with the master volume right there if you need to bump it up or bring it down a little bit right in the front. Right in the front, you have that option to bring it up or take it down a little bit. Right over here, you have the levels, and if this little button is pushed in, it's going to show you the levels of the overall master output. Here's our master once again, as you see. And that's with this button pushed in. Now, if you wanted to push it out, it won't show you that, but it will show you the levels on each channel, what's playing. So you're going to hit these on each channel. There's a PFL, pre-fader listen. It's basically also a Q button. And as you see, it's showing you the basic levels of the music. You could also go over here. Takes that down. And then you can see the levels of what this record is. And I imagine that might be useful if you wanted to see how loud the recording is and so on for deciding where you think you're going to be going with the fader on the volume. On the lower right side here, we have the Q section, and there's where we put headphones in, obviously. You can go from pre-fader listen, which is going to be Q. You're going to engage one of these buttons to listen to what's ever happening on those channels. Or you can go all the way over to program. And right now we're listening to the turntable. That's our program. You also, of course, have your volume control for the headphones. There's also a booth output, which is nice, obviously, for the monitor you have in your booth. Sometimes people even use those, and there's of course volume control on it. Use them for a wireless transmitter to go to wireless receivers on speakers that you might have set up, and then you can kind of control it throughout the night if you want to bring the wireless speakers down. For mobile events where I'd start out with everything the same sound, I might have it right in the middle like that. And then as the dance floor sound became greater and I needed less sound out there and less of an even sound, you can just bring it all the way down or just slightly down. On the far left, we have our mic input section, and there are 3 mic options. We have one in the front here. This is universal. You can either put an XLR or a 1/4 inch into the mic 1 input. You can put a 1/4 inch input into mic 2. On the back, there's even another option for a 3rd mic. And there's the mic level for mic 3, mic 2, mic 1. Right over here is where you turn the mic on or off. Right in the middle, it's going to be on. It's going to be off. And if you want to do talk over, of course, that's going to bring the volume down so that you can make an announcement and then go back to off. So here's a mic. We'll go ahead and plug this XLR into the mic channel 1. Mic is off. Check, test 1, 2. Mic is on. We also do have contouring, high and low for the mic. Mic, as you see, very high. Also low, or not as low, not as high. And that goes overall for all the mics. And there's the, here's the universal. Test, check 1, 2, as you see. And now we'll go over to mic 2. Check, test 1, 2. There's also individual level controls. There's the mic really high. Check, test 1, 2. Once again, here's our channel 1 mic. And if we do talk over, you'll see it just lowers the volume just a little bit so you can make your announcement a little bit more clear. And then when you're done, and here is the back. We've got master balanced outputs. It doesn't say balanced. It didn't say it in the manual, but I did some research online, and all the people that sold it always called these balanced outputs, as you'd think that they should be, because they are XLR. We also have the booth output that we mentioned, where you can control the volume of that right on the front. Typically for in a DJ booth, but if you're close to the speakers, you don't need that. You could also use it for transmitting sound to wireless speakers. We have the master out that is not balanced, that's RCA, and then a separate record out. The one thing I couldn't figure out, and there was nothing in the manual about this, but it's this sub mic output with a little toggle press in button kind of thing. And I thought maybe it was, like a lot of mixers had actually a subwoofer out, so you could have another out just go to a sub amp, maybe with a crossover or something like that. And I did my best to try that out, but nothing, I got no sound through there, so nothing's written about it in the manual. I also, when I saw mic, I thought maybe the whole mic section can be sent as well to a mixer or something like that. Where you could have your own effects for singers or something like that, but none of that panned out. In case you're wondering about the sub mic, it's a mystery to me. I tried some different options to see if it would work, but nothing worked with that. So one final little thing, it actually has little feet, so you can stand it like this directly at you if you'd like to. You also have rack mount options, of course, but that's kind of interesting that you could stand this mixer just like this, kind of like a rack mount or a module synthesizer or something like that, if that's how you wanted to use it. And there it is, the Stanton RM-50 professional stereo mixer for nightclubs, DJs, and so on.